Everybody, I am making a video for you to follow along with in case I am helping somebody else in class or you're working on your project at home. So in this video we are going to work together and you'll follow along as I make a sample of some album art. So the first thing we need to do is go to the top of the screen if Photoshop hasn't already prompted you to create a new document when you open it. And we need to name our document. So I'm going to name mine Katie Lillard, first and last name, space, album, art, demo. And then we want the width and the height to be 10 inches. So if your drop-down box over here says pixels, just go ahead and change the unit of measurement to inches. The resolution can be at 72. We don't want to take up a lot of space on the computer just for the demo. And go ahead and click create. And now you'll see a square in your artboard. Cool. So the first thing that we need to do, or that I want to show you guys, is the gradient tool. So if you go over to your toolbar and find the eraser tool, the tool right below it is the gradient tool. And if you're not seeing the square that goes from dark to light, then click and hold down and you'll be able to find it in one of these selections. So now go ahead to the bottom of the screen and you have two paint swatches down here. The gradient tool allows us to create a color range between two or more colors of our choosing. So let's go ahead and click the top paint swatch and we're going to choose one color. I'm going to pick green, and then go ahead to the bottom swatch and choose another color that you want the green to fade into. And I'm going to pick orange. And then go ahead and click off of your canvas and drag right across the canvas. And you'll see you get a nice fade of your colors. If you want them to fade the opposite way, then you just start on the other side of the canvas, click and drag your mouse across, and now I have orange to green instead of green to orange. I can even drag and click on a diagonal and have my fade happen sort of on a diagonal. If I want to see a narrower transition between colors, I can click inside my canvas and drag, make sort of a shorter line, and there the transition is much more narrow. But I like the way I did it the first time, so I'm going to click and drag outside of my canvas, and now I've got this nice fade from green to orange. So choose any colors that you want, and you can play around with that tool. The next thing we want to do is load the files that I uploaded to Google Class. One's called Treble Clef and one's called Golden Ratio. And open those in Photoshop. When you open your file, most likely it will say, if you look in your layers window, it will say background here instead of layer 0, and you'll have a padlock. So in order to edit this layer, we want to unlock it, and to do that all we have to do is click the padlock. By the way, if anybody's not seeing their layer window, it's really easy to bring it back. All we have to do is go to the top of our screen, click window, and scroll down to layers. If there's a check mark next to layers like there is on my screen, it means it's already open somewhere. If there's not a check mark, then go ahead and click it and it should pop up. So once you have your layer unlocked, let's go to the top of the screen, hit select, and drop down to color range. So on many of your screens, this box will be all the way black. And on mine, I haven't figured out why it's not black yet, but it's still functioning the same way. It's white. But go ahead and click. And in either case, whether you started with a white square or a black square, this will sort of happen, where if I click on one part of my image in my canvas, not in here, on my canvas, that same area will brighten up in this little thumbnail sample. So what we're trying to do here is select everything that's white. I want to delete that background so that I can copy and paste the treble clef onto my canvas where I just made that nice color fade, and I don't want the white behind it. And instead of using my eraser tool or the selection tool, I want to tell Photoshop the color that I want selected and have it select it automatically for me everywhere. So if I hold down the Shift key, I can select different places, and once this screen is all the way white again, it means it's got all the white selected. You'd think you only have to click once, but this white behind the treble clef or around it is actually coded differently in different pixels. It's not all the same color, but now it's got everything. So go ahead and click OK. And if you look close, you can see the ants marching around the treble clef and around the edges, and that means that everything is selected. So go ahead and hit delete, and you'll see that the background is now gone, which is great. That's just what we wanted. So I'm going to click on my selection tool in the toolbar and just click outside of my canvas just to get those marching ants to disappear. And then I'm going to select the whole thing and copy and paste it onto my album art. And there it is. So that's our first step. I'm going to end the video here. And if you've gotten through that, then you're ready to move on. Congratulations and very good job.